got big dreams, I'ma do big things. Yeah, you see me on the big screen looking so clean. I don't move slow, I move fast right past.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? Samix Plays here, and today we are going to be doing a budget showcase Hailey build with the first 5 hard bosses, and we're not going to be using any activators or catalysts with our build. Hailey is going to be one of the best budget descendants, and as we've seen in my other videos, I love doing these like budget showcases. I think they're a lot of fun to see how much we can like not invest in our characters to still be able to clear those hard bosses. Now keep in mind, this is not a build that you would want to do past the first 5 hard bosses, because at that point you're going to be kind of griefing your team if you are going in there with 0 investment. But if you're trying to farm those first 5 hard bosses to grind for ultimates or get some ultimate weapons, this is going to be a really good build. So when I started recording the video, I thought it would be fun to either do one of 2 things. The Perforator build, which the way this works is you toss on the mod payout with these 2 magazine size mods, and then I also threw action and reaction on to give us some extra attack damage. Basically what this is going to do is give us 3 extra shots, because the way payout works is once you hit a weak point, your ammo is not consumed, so that is going to apply to the zenith, which means you get 3 extra shots. The second build I was going to do was going to be just doing it with a Tamer, and this is all I was going to use. However, I figured the Perforator build would be a little bit more interesting to watch. However, you can do it with just the Tamer using her 3 ability, and you would use these 3 mods, and if you wanted to, you could swap out SPS for mental focus, but SPS is going to win out in damage because you're holding down the trigger. However, if you let go of the trigger and you keep resetting your stacks, mental focus is going to win out, so that will be preference. We're going to be using both of these things today. You're not going to be able to one rotation most of these bosses with this build. However, we're just going to use the Perforator, just base Perforator, and then the Tamer to hit the weak point damage. I'm not going to have the perfect rolls on this thing. I just have a rounds per magazine, firearm attack, and bonus to Colossus. I didn't really invest too much into re-rolling this. And the reactor we're going to use is not perfect at all. It's going to give us some extra damage for our ultimate because it has a chill skill power boost ratio and then a blue additional skill attack to Colossus. I felt like this was going to be more relatable, because if I was doing a budget showcase video with like the god roll, I feel like it kind of defeats the purpose, right? So I just kind of threw on like whatever I could find. And this week did just rotate, so you can actually farm this if you wanted to try out this build. It is going to be over here in the storage in Agna Desert, and you could do one of these 2 missions. So this one is stand in the circle with the Kuiper ores. You just don't complete the mission, and then all of the mobs would keep spawning. And or you could go over here and then you finish the mission in like 1 minute. I'm not really sure which one's better. This one is like 5 minutes long. This one's a minute. So I kind of just went back and forth with both of these. You can test them out and see which one you like better. But if you are trying to run this build with the Perforator, you are going to need a chill singular reactor, so make sure you do that because the reactor is very important for upping our damage. Regarding the external components, ideally you would want to use the Slayer set. However, I felt like that would be kind of disingenuous because this is all about a budget build, so I just threw on whatever, just a little bit of HP and defense. Keep in mind, this is going to have one major downside, and that is this build is not going to be using any HP mods. So if I go over here to my build, this is going to be the build that I'm going to be rocking. It's basically all about upping your skill power. We throw on a non-upgraded Spear and Shield because all we care about is this 8.1% increase to our skill power. The reason why is because Hailey's Zenith has an insane amount of skill power, so putting on skill power modifier is not going to increase our damage that much, so we want to just focus on skill power like raw. So that's going to be like chill specialist. We're going to throw on skill insight so we can get that 100% crit rate when we stack it up with our cold fury, and then we're going to be using front lines, and then of course dangerous ambush. Now again, this build is not going to have increased HP. We might have to slot one out once we fight Swamp Walker because he has those auto homing missiles, so we might have to drop a little bit of damage and then throw in a little bit of survivability on that boss because you are not going to be able to just one tap him, but we'll do it when we get there. I'm not not going to upgrade the reactor just because, as I said, I'm trying to make this as most budget as possible. So all you're going to need is the Perforator, and then we're going to use the Tamer to hit the weak points. Let's go ahead and hop into it, and we're going to do the first 5 hard bosses and see if we can down them. All right, first up, we're going to go ahead and do Executioner, and we're just going to stack our 3 and then post up. Now, when he spawns, he's going to shoot us from this side right here, and he's going to block his weak point, so we're going to aim for his left shoulder. And there we go. So this is without any catalyst, any energy activators. You guys can see the potential. Hailey is just like the best budget character in the game because she just has so much damage output. All right, next up, we're going to do Dead Bride. This is going to be one of the harder ones because she's very strong against chill damage. So this is probably going to take you 2 rotations, but we'll go ahead and see the damage output and see what we got. If I had a guess, there's no way you're going to be able to one combo her with this with 0 catalyst and 0 activators. But we'll go ahead and see. We'll get the damage pop in here. Yeah, we can't one-tap her. So what we're gonna do is just wait for our ultimate, take out our Tamer to shoot her weak points, because with the Perforator, it's going to be very hard to consistently hit her weak points without any aiming mods. Dodge this and then just hit her weak points. There we go. And we got our ultimate back up, so we're gonna take our Perforator back out, and then we should kill her here. Hopefully one of these guys don't hit me. Oh, well, we died. This is kind of the problem with this build, is you have like 0 survivability, but it is doable. Toss our 1 ability out, and then we'll start killing her. There we go. So yeah, it takes you 2 rotations. It's not bad. Maybe if you had like a God Roll reactor and the Slayer set on, you could do it. I don't know though. I mean, her shield's like really tanky, so even then maybe not. But all right, then we got Devourer. I assume this guy's gonna be like one-tapped. We'll have to wait and see, but I assume that you can one-tap this dude since he is like the weakest boss in the game. All right, and we're just gonna post up, stack up our stacks on our 3. Or yeah, on our 3, and then we'll toss our 1 out and then shoot his leg. I literally can't see. Well, there we go. It doesn't matter. I could not see him at all, but yeah, he died really quickly. Yeah, 9-second clear, and that's without any catalysts or activators. That is wild. This character is so crazy. And then we're gonna do hard Pyromaniac. This guy should be very, very easy because Hailey is chill damage, and he's very weak to chill, obviously. So I suspect we'll be able to just one-shot, like one-tap him for sure. He should die within 1 rotation. All right, let's post up. And we'll toss our 1 out, aim for his left side. There we go. Super easy. Ooh, energy activator. I'll take that. All right, next up we're going to do Swamp Walker. However, we are going to have to throw on an increased HP mod because this guy will one-tap you with his homing missiles. So I am going to adjust the build a little bit. I'm going to drop front lines. We're going to sack a little bit of damage for some survivability here. And then we just went from 3.5k HP to 11.2k. You have to have this. If you don't, the homing missiles are just going to one-shot you, essentially. So it's just better to drop some damage here and then make sure you do have your Tamer equipped, so you, once he lays down, you can just nuke his legs. You will not be able to just throw on your budget build without any defense mods on this boss and survive. I'm sure you could, but you'd probably it would take you longer because you'd probably have to like take cover every time he did his homing missiles. It's just I wouldn't recommend it, but if y'all want to try, you can. I tried it already though, and he kept killing me with the homing missiles, so we're just gonna drop a little bit of damage here. Alright, so for this one, we are going to wait to post up in our ulti because he fires these missiles at you as soon as he spawns and you just will not be able to see the screen. So I am going to hold my damage for a second until he does his rotation. Alright, so let's wait for him to do it. Alright, here we go. Oh, never mind. Still can't see, but... And then we'll take out our Tamer to just clear the ads. And then we gotta shoot his feet out. But I don't want these guys messing with me, so I'm just going to... kill them, and then we're gonna restore our HP. Alright. This guy, like, never stops shooting you, by the way. Alright, let's shoot out his feet. You do lose stacks when you roll, but it's not, like, that big of a deal. You pretty much, like, instantly regain them during the roll animation. Alright, there we go. We'll throw our one ability up, and then we need to... Actually, we need mana, so let's see if these guys drop a little bit. There we go. Alright. Oh, I ultied with the wrong gun, so we need a re-ulti. You get it back really quickly, so... Alright, here we go. As you guys can see, this guy is a huge pain in the ass. Shoot out his legs again. There we go, and we're gonna go get mana and health. Alright, let's start prepping. I mean, bro, he just never stops shooting you, like, I swear. Literally, bro just, like, perma-shoots. Like, every time I post up, I can't see anything. There we go. And then we're gonna die to reset our skills, and then we should kill him here. There we go. Man, I would not recommend farming this boss with this build. It is such a pain in the ass, like, actually. I mean, you can do it, but at that point, you might as well just throw in, like, I would just stick to the first 4 bosses unless you, like, absolutely have to farm Swamp Walker. And then at that point, you should probably just, like, invest in your Hailey anyway, right? Because if you throw, like, a Activator and some Catalyst in her, she's a completely different character. But this is just showing budget builds, but this guy by far is the biggest pain in the the ass. And that's going to be it, guys. That is going to be the first 5 hard bosses with 0 activators, 0 catalyst, and just using the Perforator. Keep in mind, if you did not have the Perforator, you would not have to go out and farm the reactor. You could also do gun Hailey with the Tamer. I did test this. It does take you like a couple minutes to down each boss, but you can definitely do it with just these 3 mods. As far as like the build, it would change. So if you were doing gun Hailey and you just didn't have a Perforator yet, you could take these out. And this would be the build if you wanted to just do a budget gun build. So the idea behind this is you just throw on these 3 mods and you'll infinitely be able to keep up your 3. And then you would also throw on shot focus for some more damage. However, I know a lot of people aren't going to have shot focus, so if you do not have it, then you could just throw something else in here if you wanted to throw like some more survivability or something like that. However, this would be like the ideal budget setup if you do have this mod. And these 3 mods are going to just give us infinite uptime on our 3. So if I pop this here, see how it just never drains my mana. So even when we're like shooting stuff and in combat, we're just never going to get drained. A big part of this is also right here. If you have a MP recovery in combat component, that is what is making it work. Keep in mind, if I did take this off and let's just throw on, I don't know, something else. Let me get out of combat. We'll go ahead and switch this and then I will pop it again. Now see, it is going to be draining. Granted, it's going to be draining really slow, but you're not going to get that like infinite mana that you would if you threw on an external component with MP recovery in combat. Another good thing that you could take if you wanted to would be the selective neurostimulation, and this is going to just give you back mana every 60 seconds. So if this is something you would like to spec into and then you don't have a component that has MP recovery on it, you could also do this. However you'd like to do it, but basically the idea is you just keep the uptime on your 3. I mean, you'll also be killing ads and picking up MP orbs, so it's not like that big of a deal, but you know, if you're trying to do it optimally. And then again, you would just take something like the Tamer, make sure it has bonus firearm attack versus Colossus, firearm attack, and then like an element, and then whatever. It doesn't have to be the perfect rolls. It's just, if you were wanting to do a really budget Hailey build, I'd recommend just doing it with the Tamer if you don't have the Perforator, and then you're just going to use these 3, as I said. Anyways, that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these budget videos. I always enjoy doing these. I think they're a lot of fun to just see how much I can get away with and still down the content and the hard bosses, at least the first 5, which you can solo. If you did like the content, please don't forget to drop a sub. If you did not like the content, let me know down in the comments what I could do better, and I hope you guys have a great one. I am Samx Plays, and I will see y'all in the next one. I hope y'all have a great day and or night, depending on when you're watching. Peace!